morning, yogis. Hope you are having a wonderful day and start to whatever you are doing this morning. I'm finishing my cup of coffee and we're going to have a lovely practice this morning. My name is Michael Tarver, for those that do not know me. If you do know me, welcome back, and happy to have you. A little about me. I've been practicing yoga for well over 20 years. I started when I was in dance. My style of yoga is Bhakti yoga, which stands for the devotional side of things. I love the spiritual side of yoga. It's very close to my heart, and you'll see in this practice, we will be opening up the body, tapping into our inner resources, and connecting to ourself. So hopefully this practice will be gentle, won't be too extreme. We'll just get us nice and open, and then we'll have a lovely day ahead. So let's get started. Come to a nice easy seat. You can come to where I'm showing right here. You can have the legs crossed. You can have the legs stacked. You can have one leg in front. You can come to a butterfly, a diamond, wherever you are. Allow those eyes to fall shut, the palms to land wherever they may land, maybe on the knees, face up to receive energy, down to release energy. If you need some extra grounding, you can place your palms in your lap, or for more support, left palm over your heart, right palm over your belly. Take notice of how the breath is showing up this morning. No judgment, just awareness. If you have a short, quick inhale and a long, luxurious exhale, or vice versa. Maybe it's long and juicy on the inhale and short, sweet on the exhale. Whatever it is, just take notice how it's showing up in this moment. Beautiful. Now that you know how your breath is showing up, see if you can start matching that inhale to that exhale. Find a rhythm, sequence, or count to ground in evenly that inhale to that exhale. Could be your heartbeat, the sound of the music, or some arbitrary number that you chose. Whatever it is, find that even exchange in and out. Do this for a couple more cycles, grounding into your even exchange, in and out. And on your next inhale, see if you can start matching that inhale to that exhale. Find a rhythm, sequence, or count to ground in evenly that inhale to that exhale. Could be your heartbeat, just adding an extra phrase. Could be the music, pausing for a moment at the top and at the bottom. Expanding your edges, your field of serenity. On your next exhale, release that breath control. Come to your natural breath. Take notice of how you feel. And to open our practice, we will begin with 3 deep cleansing breaths together with an audible exhale. So to begin, first push out all that air. Fill up through the nose, that low belly, low back, upper chest, upper back. Holding at the top for 3, 2, 1. Open the mouth and push out all that air. Beautiful. 2 more just like that. In through the nose. Fill up that low belly, low back, upper chest, upper back. Holding at the top for 3, 2, and 1. Open and push out all that air. Last one, fullest and loudest yet. In through the nose. Fill up that low belly, low back, upper chest, upper back. Holding at the top for 3, 2, and 1. Open and push out all that air. Beautiful. Come to settle on your natural breath. Eyes still closed. Take notice of how you feel. And I'm going to invite you into our intention. So, if this is your first time with me, welcome, welcome. I'm guided by affirmation cards. I shuffle a deck of cards, and the first one that pops up gives me an intention, a poem, as well as a mantra that ties to it. So our intention today, we're going to silence the mind. We're going to let silence guide us to our inner peace. And our poem today is by a Sufi poet by the name of Rumi, who writes, I am a mirror. I am a mirror. I'm not a person of words. I am revealed when your eyes become listening ears. Open the window of your heart and commune with me in silence. So during this practice, rather than speaking, turn everything off and listen to the silence. Let it be an inner music that creates your mantra, and feel the calming energy flowing through you, and allow it to relax your body and renew your spirit. Let's take one more deep cleansing breath together with an audible exhale. First, push out all that air. Fill it through the nose, that low belly, low back, upper chest, upper back. Holding at the top for just a brief moment as you open the mouth, push out all that air. And let's open those eyes if they aren't already. Good morning, yogis. So we're going to start right away in our seated practice. On that next inhale, lift those palms up high to the sky. As you exhale, reset those shoulders, elbows, and palms. Inhale, grow a little bit taller. And as you exhale, come to your right palm or elbow. Make sure both sit bones are grounded though. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, go a little bit deeper. Look up above you. And then inhale back up to the sky. As you exhale, come to your left palm or elbow. Make sure both sit bones are grounded. Another deep breath in. Exhale, go a little bit deeper. Look up above. And then inhale back up to the sky. This time as you exhale, reach behind you. Grab those palms. Take a big deep breath in with that chin, chest, and heart. And as you exhale, dive that nose to the mat, lifting those palms up as high as you can. Take another deep breath in and lengthen. And as you exhale, release the palms down to the mat, rounding the spine even further. Take another breath in to lengthen. Exhale, roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale those palms up high to the sky. And this time as you exhale, twist to the right. Plant that right palm at your sit bone. Left palm on the outside of that thigh. Take a big deep belly breath in. Expand your belly like Buddha. Look up behind you. And as you exhale, release that twist. Inhale back up to the sky. And then exhale over to the other side. Plant that left palm at your sit bone. Right palm on the outside of that thigh. Take a big deep belly breath in. Expand that belly like Buddha. And as you exhale, release that twist. Inhale back up to the sky. Exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Take a deep breath in to lengthen. Exhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. And then take notice of your crisscross. Whichever leg's on top, switch the other leg that's on top. We're going goofy. So with this, if you're in a balanced pose like a diamond or a butterfly pose, you can stay there, or you can find another even pose to stay in. Or if you were crisscross, just flip it over. Now we're going to move into what I call as under curves and over curves. You're going to start with your nose. You're going to concave, round the spine, roll down one vertebrae at a time, come into a flat back on your way up. Then you're going to repeat that for a second time. These are under the curve. We're under the bridge. Then you reverse it, go flat back down. When you can't no more, you round that spine and roll it up one vertebrae at a time. And then you repeat that for a second time, going over the curve or off the bridge. Now, turn over to your right knee. Start leading down with the nose to the right knee, coming to a flat back on your way up. Do that for 2 cycles. You can honor however fast or however slow you would like to go, and do connect that breath to movement. This activates that shocked energy within us. As long as you're doing 2 under, 2 over, and then switching over to that opposite side, I have no preference on how fast or how slow you move. We're doing 2 under, 2 over, both center, right, left, and then back to center. Once you complete both sides of the center, we're just going to hang in the center. So take that breath to movement. Once you've completed center, right and left, come back to center. And then on your last cycle, once you've completed that last over curve, inhale those palms up high to the sky. And exhale, hinge at the waist. And rest here, rounding that spine. I am also a yin instructor, a restorative instructor, and I hold my 500-hour yoga teacher training. So anytime that you can get into the fascia, especially in those sides that you do not find preferential, meaning this is most likely your goofy crisscross, these tend to need a little bit more time to get into that fascia, the ligaments, the tendons to loosen up. Take a couple more deep cleansing breaths in and out. Then take one more deep cleansing breath in through the nose. As you exhale, roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Let's roll through to hands and knees in tabletop position now. So, with this, make sure those palms are shoulder distance width apart, stacked right underneath the shoulders. Knees hip distance width apart, tops of the toes resting on the mat, fingers spread wide, middle fingers facing the front of the mat. Bring in any organic movements that feel good for you. I will give you some suggestions, but do anything that feels nice to warm up the body this morning. You can tilt the pelvis forward as you inhale, looking at the sky, and then reverse that tilt of the pelvis, rounding the spine, looking at the belly. Do this a couple times if you would like to. For your cat-cows, you could bring in some wrist circles, going into a circular clockwise motion, but then reverse that motion. You can go as big or as little as you feel like you're ready for it this morning. You can bring in some figure eights with that. You can reverse that. You can bring in some spinal twists in a figure eight motion. But whatever you do on one side, make sure you reverse it. You can thread the needle, lifting one palm up high to the sky, shooting it through that opening, dropping that shoulder and ear to the mat. Take that breath if that feels good for you. But like I shared, everything needs to be reversed on that opposite side. Once you feel complete, we will all meet back into a neutral tabletop position. We'll take a big, beautiful, deep breath in here. And as we exhale, we will press back into our child's pose to reset for our balancing table series. Here's where the fun begins. If you struggle in any way, shape, or form planting the palms on the mat, I would recommend using a couple blocks. It's always better to have the support and not need it than need it and not have it. But on your next exhale, you have the choice. You can come to either a downward facing dog if you're already warm for a downward facing dog, or if you're still waking up, you can come to a nice hands and knees to repeat. So what we're going to be doing from here is what I call pre-asana. We're going to, it's all the nice juicy stretches before we move into the full expression. So we're going to take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, step that right foot in between the palms. Check in with your foundation here. Is that right knee stacked right on top of that ankle? Do not go past that Achilles tendon. You will damage it over time. If anything, walk that foot out more. I'd much rather see you going into your split than into a damaging pose for your Achilles tendon. Take a couple breaths here. Set that foundation. And as I shared, check in with that form. Are the palms planted into the mat? Do not crunch those tarsals, and I would highly recommend avoiding coming to the fingertips. If you can plant that full palm into the mat, it'll be a lot easier. When you're ready though, plant that left palm, inhale that right palm up to the sky. Check in with your form here. Are you hugging that midline? Are you moving out? Do your best to hug into that midline. Look up at that right thumb. Take another big deep breath in. And as you exhale, reach for your left hip. Take that wrap. Take another big deep breath in. As you exhale, lift that right palm up to the sky. And then exhale, plant that right palm down into the mat. Switch sides. Inhale that left palm up to the sky. Take a big, beautiful deep breath in. And as you exhale, reach for your right hip this time. Take that wrap. Take another big deep breath in. And exhale, lift that palm up. And exhale, plant that left palm. Now, if you're not already, tuck the left toes into the mat. Come to your full runner's lunge expression. Take a couple deep breaths here. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, step that left foot to meet the right and forward fold. Now, hang here. Maybe sway from side to side. Shake the head, yes. Shake the head, no. Maybe sway. Maybe grab those elbows. And the weight should be in the balls of the foot as best as you can. Once you feel complete, plant those palms into the mat. Bend those knees. Roll up halfway, lift flat back on that inhale. And as you exhale, plant those palms, bend those knees. Roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders back, lift those palms up high to the sky. And then exhale down to heart sacrum. Close the eyes. Take notice of how you feel. No judgment, just awareness. Next, deep breath in. Lift those palms up high to the sky. Give yourself a gentle back bend. As you exhale, lead with the heart. Swan dive forward, fold. Roll up halfway, lift, flat back. Exhale, plant those palms, bend those knees. Step back with the right foot, left runner's lunge. And whatever you started out with on that left side, do the same, on that right side, do the same on that left side. So if you started on the knee, do the same thing. But check that foundation. Is the left knee stacked right on top of that ankle? Is the full weight of the palms into the mat? Get grounded here. And when you're ready, plant that right palm into the mat. Inhale the left palm up to the sky. Breathe here. Hug that midline. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, reach for that right hip. Another big deep breath in. Exhale, lift that palm up high. Another breath in. Exhale, plant that left palm, switch sides. Inhale that right palm up. Take another big deep breath in. Exhale, reach for your left hip. You have a visitor right now. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, lift that right palm up. Another deep breath. Exhale, plant that right palm. Now, tuck the toes under if they aren't already. Come to your full left runner's lunge expression. Make sure you're engaged in even those pinky toes. Take a big deep breath in. And as you exhale, step that left foot back to plank. Take a deep breath in. And then flow. Either chaturanga, coming to a push-up position, belly, or pull yourself through up dog, cobra, or a sphinx. And then make your way back to either child's pose or downward facing dog. Beautiful. Wherever you are, take a big deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's all come to our child's pose to reset. I have to let my cat out because they need to run to the restroom. But stay here for a moment. Just breathe into your child's pose. But that is all the pre-asana that we will be doing today. From here, we will be moving into our full asana. If you need a drink of water or some coffee, feel free to honor that. But we're going to move into the full expression. And you have choices here. You can move through full expression, or you can move through half expression. I'll show you half expression first, and then from there, moving into the full expression before you move on. We'll probably do 2 full sets of asana, and then we'll move through. So, on your next exhale, come to either downward facing dog, if that feels good for you, or hands and knees in tabletop position. Wherever you are, you have 2 choices. If you're in downward facing dog, you can walk out your dog, bend your left, bend your right. But if you're in hands and knees, tuck the toes under and hover those knees about 2 to 3 inches above the ground. We're here, 3 deep breaths in and out, wherever you are. And then here's 1. 2, and there, 3. Now, wherever you are, on your next inhale, lift that right leg high to the sky. Exhale, punch that nose to knee. Inhale that right leg back up high to the sky. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale that right leg back up high to the sky, and then exhale, cross it over to the left. Inhale it back up high to the sky again, and then swing it through to your right runner's lunge. Like I shared, you can do this all from a knee, or you can do it from full expression. I'm going to show you from the knee first. Next, deep breath in, lift up to crescent lunge. You can come to half crescent lunge, or tuck that toe and lift up into the full expression. Wherever you are, take another deep breath in. As you open up on that exhale to Virabhadrasana B, Warrior 2. Right palm in front, left palm behind. If you're in full expression, drop that left heel to the mat and make sure both hips and that left shoulder are facing the front. Do not open up to the side. This is not the pose. Tilt the pelvis over. Now, take another deep breath in. As you exhale, you can drop down to side angle, right elbow to right knee, left palm up to the sky. You can also do this from a knee expression as well. And then take another deep breath in. As you exhale, reverse your warrior. Left palm down the left thigh, right palm up to the sky. Take another deep breath in here. And as you exhale, come back to your side angle. Now follow with your eyes that left palm down to the mat. Come back to your right runner's lunge. Tuck the toes under if you're not in that full runner's lunge expression, and then step that foot to meet the right. Forward fold. Roll up halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, plant those palms, bend those knees. Roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. Shoulders back, lift those palms. Meet in heart sacrum. Close the eyes. Take notice of how you feel. Are you listening to the silence? I hope you are. Next, deep breath in, lift those palms up high. Give yourself a gentle back bend. As you exhale, lead with the heart. Swan dive forward fold. Roll up halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, plant those palms, bend those knees. Step back with the right foot. Left runner's lunge. And whatever you did on that right side, make sure you do it on the left. So if you drop down to that knee, feel free to do so on this side. We're going to inhale up to crescent lunge. And all we will do here is as you exhale, break those arms into cactus arms. Inhale back up to the sky. And exhale, come down to the mat. Runner's lunge. Step that left foot back to either half plank or full plank. And then flow. Meet back in either child's pose or downward facing dog to reset for the other side. So, I am going to show you the next set in full expression. So, if you want to do this in full expression with me, feel free to come to your downward facing dog, or if you want to do all of that again from hands and knees, honor that on that next exhale. Next inhale, lift that left leg high to the sky. Exhale, crunch that nose to knee. Inhale that left leg back up high to the sky. And then exhale, left elbow to left knee. Inhale that left leg back up high to the sky. And then exhale, cross it over to the right elbow. Inhale back up high to the sky. And then exhale, swing it through to your left runner's lunge. Get grounded here. And inhale up to your crescent lunge. Take another deep breath in here. Drop that right heel, open up to your Virabhadrasana B, Warrior 2. Another big deep breath in. Exhale, left elbow to left knee. Looking up at that right palm for side angle. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Looking up at the left palm. Take another big deep breath in. Exhale, come back to your side angle. And then follow with your eyes. That right palm down to the mat. Back to your left runner's lunge. Step that right foot to meet the left. Forward fold. Roll up halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, plant those palms, bend those knees. Roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders back. Lift those palms. Meet back in heart sacrum. Close the eyes. Take notice of how you feel. Next, deep breath in. Lift those palms up high. Give yourself a gentle back bend. Lead with the heart. Swan dive forward fold. Roll up halfway, lift flat back. Exhale, plant those palms. Bend those. Step back with the left foot. Right runner's lunge. Inhale up to crescent lunge. Take a deep breath in. Exhale back to cactus arms. Inhale up to the sky. And exhale down to your right runner's lunge. Step that right foot back to plank or Superman plank, and then flow. Meet back in either child's pose or downward facing dog. Wherever you are, take a big deep breath in. And as we exhale, let's all come to our child's pose. So that is all of the asana we will do this morning. So we've gotten one full set of asana in. And our next part that we're going to move into, we are going to move into our juicy practice, as I call it. But we're going to have a little bit of core too. So everything we did up until that lunge, we're going to do, except in going into the lunge, we're going to move into pigeon. So when you're ready, on your next exhale, come to either hands and knees in tabletop position or downward facing dog, whichever feels good for you. Once you're there, inhale that right leg high. Exhale, crunch that nose to knee. Inhale that right leg high again. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale that leg back up. Exhale, cross it over to the left. And then inhale it back up to the sky. But this time, swing it through to your pigeon pose. Plant that shin, ankle, and knee. Slide that supporting leg back. Make sure you're right on top of that thigh, knee, and foot. Take a deep breath in to lengthen if that's in your practice. And as you exhale, we're going to rest on the mat. So you can add some blocks if it struggles for you to rest that chest on the floor. You can rest your forehead on your palms, your block. If you have a big space, like it's not easy for you to sit like so in a pigeon, you can stack a block underneath that thigh and quad to get some height, to make it easier. And if none of those work still, you can flip over onto your back and hug that shin into your chest. But make sure that supporting leg is engaged into the mat. This is the same exact pose as pigeon pose, king pigeon pose, or relaxed pigeon. The only difference is you don't have gravity holding you down. So you have to create that gravity. But wherever you are, feel free to stay there. Just focus on your breath. And once you feel good, plant those palms into the mat. If you're in your pigeon, press up to a king pigeon. Maybe bend that supporting leg. Take big thumb to big toe. Yes, I said big thumb. Maybe reverse it. Bring that ankle in. Maybe do a mirror person. I say mirror person because why do we need gender? And then once you feel good, move into deer pose. Create a Z shape, dropping both knees to the mat. You can lean back a little bit, but make sure both knees are resting into the mat. If that left knee is lifting up some, pull up some more, so that way it can drop to the mat. Now, lift those legs, flip over to the other side. We're going to the other side now. So the left leg should be bent in front, right knee should be bent behind you. Take another couple breaths here. And then once you feel complete, plant the palms in front of that left shin. And then move back into your downward facing dog, but opposite. We're inverting. We're gonna do all of this now the other way. So next inhale, lift that left leg high to the sky. Exhale, crunch that nose to knee. Inhale, back up high to the sky. Exhale, cross it over to the left elbow. Inhale it back up high to the sky. Cross it over to the right. And then inhale it back up one more before exhaling, swinging it through to your left pigeon. Now, from here, take a big deep breath in. And as you exhale, rest that chest onto the mat. And similar thing applies for this side. If you struggle sitting in pose, you can stack the blocks underneath the thigh and quad. You can rest on a block on the chest or forehead, or you can just flip over onto your back and hug that left shin into your chest. Wherever you are, take a couple big, beautiful breaths here. Just ground into the silence. Focus on that pranayama. This pose is a wonderful hip opener. It releases trauma, all of that stagnant energy that lays dormant. Most of us go from sleeping to sitting in like a desk, a couch, a chair, something of that sort. So poses like pigeon helps open up and release all of that trauma. Now feel free to stay there, but if you'd like a little more, press into the palms, into your king pigeon. Maybe bend that supporting leg this time, take big toe to big thumb. Reverse it. Maybe a mer person, mer thing. And once you feel complete, we will meet back in our lovely deer pose. Flip over to the other side. And once you feel good, we will all meet back on our mats. Hugging those knees into our chest on our backs. So, we have come to the end of our practice. This is what I call the juicy flow. It's all the nice, juicy stretches to prepare us for our Shavasana, or corpse or death pose, as you may know it. So with those knees in the chest, maybe bring in some nice hip circles, clockwise and counterclockwise. If you haven't already, maybe bring in some side to side motion, maybe a front and back, pulsating on those knees. Once you feel good, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, round your nose into your knees into a nice tight ball. Take another deep breath in, and as you exhale, relax that upper body and shoot your left leg long on the mat. We're going to come to wind relieving pose. Just like we did with both knees bent, maybe start with some pulses into the hip socket. Allow that to progress to knee, hip circles. And then once you've completed both sides, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, cross that right knee over the left hip, dropping that left hip to the mat, looking over your right shoulder if it's available. The palms can be mirroring one another in cactus or T-shape, or you can have that left palm resting on that right thigh, head looking over that right shoulder. It feels good. Take a big, deep belly breath in wherever you are. Expand that belly like Buddha. And as you exhale, unravel, shoot that right leg long, and hug the left knee now into the chest. Take a pulsation. If you started with those pulses, then maybe progress to the hip circle, clockwise and counterclockwise. And then take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, cross that left over the right, dropping that right hip to the mat this time, looking over that left shoulder if it feels good. Come to that cactus or T-shape, or that right thigh. Actually, your right palm can be resting on that left thigh. Take a big, deep belly breath in. Expand it like Buddha. And as you exhale, unravel. Hug both knees back into the chest. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, round into that ball once more. Take another big deep breath in. And as you exhale, relax that upper body and shoot those legs straight up or feet up against the wall. We're going to stay here for 3 deep cleansing breaths with an audible exhale. That's 1. There's 2. Make sure you're pressing through those heels. We're pointing, and then here's 3. Beautiful. Take another deep breath in. This time as you exhale, slowly lower those legs, gradually, peacefully, with joy, ease, and happiness. Do not allow those legs to plop on the mat. Although I can't hear them, I can feel it. I'm just messing. But once those feet come to rest on the mat, so do you in our final resting pose of Shavasana. Pinky toes resting as best as you can on the mat. Palms shooting out from the hips, facing the sky. Or you could have left palm over your heart, right palm over your belly for more support. For these next few moments, your job is to focus on absolutely nothing. Remember, if the mind starts to wander, first redirect it back to your breath, and rather than speaking, turn everything off and listen to the silence. Let it be an inner music that creates your mantra. And feel the calming energy flowing through you, and allow it to relax your body and renew your spirit. Enjoy. am a mirror. I am a mirror. I am not a person of words. I am revealed when your eyes become listening ears. Open the window to your heart and commune with me in silence. As we lie in Shavasana, allow some awareness into the breath. Feel yourself full of this transformational love, this divine providence, this joyful bliss. And when you feel nice and complete, allow some gentle movements into the fingers and toes. Allow that to progress to some wrist and ankle movements. Maybe joining in those elbows and knees before taking a nice deep cleansing breath in, lifting those palms up high overhead and giving yourself a nice morning stretch. And when you feel nice and complete, make your way into fetal position on one side for a moment here to rest. This is also called seed pose. It reminds us that every cycle has its moments, its beginning, middle, ending, and eventual rebirth if it so chooses. As we sit in seated pose, take notice of how you feel. And to close out our practice, we will seal with one deep cleansing breath together with an audible exhale. So to begin, push out all that air. Fill up through the nose, that low belly, low back, upper chest, upper back. Holding at the top for 3, 2, 1. Open and push out all that air. Come to settle in your natural breath. Eyes still closed. Take notice of how you feel. And as the lightness and darkness within me recognizes the lightness and darkness within each of you, I hope the rest of this week, month, year, or whenever you are listening to the video, that you find joy, prosperity, and fun throughout, while maintaining a calm, rejuvenating, and restful energy that we all so desire. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for practicing with me. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Subscribe, like, do all the things. This is just the first of many. Namaste, y'all.